There comes a time in every indie game's life where it has to make a decision. How do we fund this? In recent years, one of the answers to this has been Kickstarter, a crowdfunding site that allows people to pledge money towards a project and only pay it if the goal is met. Yesterday, Kitori Academy, an upcoming magical life sim by Cubenary, has announced its month-long fundraising attempt, and with it, new pieces of information have also been announced. Before we jump into the tiers that people can pledge at to get special rewards, we should first go over a few new pieces of information that the Kickstarter revealed. First is something small. In order to learn spells or their variations, we'll need to find a hidden spell recipe, then collect a list of ingredients before heading over to the classroom where we actually learn the spell. Why is this first? Well, it's a tidbit of knowledge that we didn't really have before and is representative of a lot of the little things that are sprinkled through the Kickstarter description of this project. It's clear that a lot of thought went into it. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of small info that's come out, and I may cover some of that new info later, but for now, the most important information that was released is the planned release dates for different phases of the game. We'll start at the beginning. A closed alpha will come to Steam sometime in the latter half of this year, 2022. Beta access will then come in early 2023, also to Steam only. There will then be a Steam Early Access version released at some time in spring, which will be a short demo of the game. The planned release date is currently set as fall 2023, when the game will release for Steam and the Nintendo Switch. Finally, in the spring of 2024, Cubenary hopes to release on PlayStation and Xbox. So that's the important information, but what can we actually get for supporting the game? Before I answer that, I feel like I need to give out a warning for Kickstarters in general. I've been on the internet long enough to see scams and half-baked projects come out of the platform, and honestly, they're still going on. I can tell you what the developers have stated is coming, but please do not back any project for rewards or as a way of buying something. Instead, if you're going to back a project, treat it as if you're giving the money away with no expectations in return. That downer aside, what can you actually get? From the bottom up, we have the following tiers. For £2 or about $3, you get email updates on the Kickstarter. There's already a mailing list for regular updates, so this is just to meet a Kickstarter requirement. At £15 or about $21, you can pledge for a digital copy of the game when it launches, and you get to choose your platform. You also get the Apprentice Discord role and some wallpapers for PC and mobile. There was also an early backer version, which was just a cheaper version of this that was open to the first 200 backers. But that's already out of stock as of me making this an hour after it came out. At £25 or about $34, you get all of the above and access to the beta when it comes to Steam. At £30 or about $41, you get all of the above and get your name in the credits and the founder role on their Discord. And now we jump into the deeper end. For £68 or about $92, you also get all of the above, an extra copy of the game, and a few special in-game items. At £76 or about $103, you get the same as above, but you also get a few more items, including this ferocious carnivorous plant. At £100 or about $136, you again get all of the above, which I feel I don't need to say anymore, but I'm sure someone will get confused if I stop, and access to the alpha and a special alpha Discord channel. The last two tiers are both fairly expensive and require you to actually do stuff. They both contain all of the items from the previous tier, but each have their own custom reward and a limit of 10 backers. The first is £750 or about $1,015 and allows you to have them model your actual cat into the game as a companion. The other is £1,000 or about $1,353 and allows you to send a picture of your pet in that they'll turn into a statue in the game. This is likely more expensive because of the great non-cat tax, but who knows. That's all of it, and I'd like to reiterate, do not back just for rewards and only give money that you're willing and able to throw away for nothing. Some of these may seem very expensive to you, and if you feel that way, then the tier wasn't meant for you. Trust me, there are people out there who are able to pay much more than this, as we can see by looking at any gacha game. That said, if you'd like to know a little bit more about the game, you can watch this video that I made on it. Thanks for watching.